615 presents Off the Record with Tom Lormor and Kami Foxx. Off the Record. 615. Off the Record.
Yes, guys, welcome back to 615's Off the Record podcast. I'm Tom Lormor, aka Tom DeLips, and I'm joined by my co-host Kami Foxx.
Yes, people, how are we doing today? We've got a special guest, Matty Blythe. How are we doing?
Yeah, good mate, good.
Did I pronounce your name right there, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, Matty Blythe.
Best nail this one. Best nail it first time.
Warrington legend.
Well,
Of course you are.
no, mate.
Yeah,
No.
but we will. Let's hear a bit about you. I'll let you can do the talking. Tell us a little bit about who you are and.
Yeah, so I was a professional rugby league player for about 12 years. I went through the Warrington Academy, played for Warrington for 6-7 years, and then went to Bradford Bulls for 4, and then did my last year at Warrington, and then from there I went into the security industry as well from there.
Yeah.
So bit of a roller coaster up and down career, injuries, etc. Administrations from Bradford. But I then ended up back in my hometown club, which, you know, I loved. And then did all my life. I was always interested in security, always. Yeah. And I always thought that you had to be ex-military to do this kind of work, to be like a close protection operative. But I found a company that, you know, online, Warrington were kind enough to give me some educational money whilst it was my last year. Yeah. And went from there, did all my close protection licensing, bug sweeping licensing, surveillance, and then did my medical licensing as well. And then that was it. Literally retired. Knew a guy that was over there, and he got me on a gig in Iraq for 2 years. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting talk really, because I've always wanted to do it. I wanted. As soon as I retired, I wanted some life experience. I thought I've been in this massive bubble all my life where I've just been training, going to Costa after training. Yeah.
So how old were you when you started with rugby?
I started pretty late compared to other people. I started at like 12, like year 7.
Right.
And luckily I was a natural athlete anyway. I was really, really fit. And I got picked up with a scholarship from Beamont High School.
Yeah.
And then from there, really enjoyed it. I hated it at first. I don't know why I'm lying. I actually hated it. No one wants to get hurt for a living, mate. Really.
Good point.
I hated it. My first game, I think I knocked on about 6 times. I think I cried 4. So I hated it. I had all the pads going. It was ridiculous. And my dad's like, "Nah, you need to keep to it. Yeah. And I did. And I worked hard to get to the first team. I used to train in the morning. Go to college, train at night for 2-3 years straight, and then luckily got the opportunity to play for my hometown club, which was my dream, and my family's as well, which is good. Which is always, and no one can ever take that away from me. Which is even to play 3 seconds or a second for that for my hometown club was a dream come true, definitely.
And you managed a bit more than that.
Yeah, I did. Injuries aside, I had an all right career. It wasn't too bad, and I played with some absolutely amazing players. Some amazing characters and with some amazing coaches as well. Yeah. At Warrington and at Bradford as well, and other clubs as well. I was at Lee on loan as well. So I've met some amazing people through the way, definitely. Yeah,
I've always wondered what it's like to be a professional sports person. It's something that I think not everyone, but a lot of lads dream of, whether it's football, rugby, anything, golf, whatever. It's
definitely.
And to make it though, it's special. Yeah, to get paid to do anything that you love doing.
Yeah, it was. I was lucky in some extent. I think you've got to have a bit of luck on your side, regardless of what you're doing. I think it's a massive part of development. Is obviously you need to work hard, but there's always that element of luck. So when I first started, there was about 6 or 7 injuries. Yeah. So and that never happens like in a game or anything like that. And then I just took it with both hands, and from there, gradually got better and better with the caliber of players that we had at Warrington. Yeah, was unbelievable. Like literally world class, and to learn from them with the coaches we had was amazing as well. So I didn't really take it. I didn't take it for granted at all, because I knew if it was. I remember my first game was Salford. And I played like 2 seconds. I played like a minute or something like that, I think. Didn't touch the ball, didn't make a tackle. But I got paid. I got appearance fee, first ever appearance and that. And my dad was still fuming. He said, "Oh, you should have played longer. But from there was like 17 when I made my debut, and then from there gradually got more games, and then got better and better and better.
Yeah, and then you retired. Well, I'd say I think we've discussed this before. You retired quite early, didn't you? Really, in terms of age to what your average retirement would be.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think when I left Bradford, my mind was set to retire. I wasn't enjoying myself anymore.
How old were you?
28, 27, 28. Yeah. And I just wasn't enjoying it. The politics from around the rugby league, and I wasn't enjoying myself on the pitch. And I've always, like, everybody who knows me, everyone who's played with me, or knows me as a person, I always have a smile on my face. I'm always like optimistic. I'm always positive. Yeah. And I just didn't find that in rugby league anymore. I needed something else. I needed something to get me back where I was when I was 17, 18, 19. And that was tough. It was really, really tough because I thought I'd still be playing now at 32 nearly this year.
Yeah, it's a big decision, isn't it?
It's massive. It was massive. And it was massive for the family as well because they've always wanted me to play rugby and to have a really good career. And they were optimistic. They were saying, right, okay, well, I'm going to quit rugby league and then go into the security industry and go to Iraq. So imagine saying that to your mum and dad.
Yeah. It's like, hang on.
Yeah, I'm going to Iraq for God knows how many, 2 years I lasted there. And then, so it was a massive decision. And I remember my last game, I only played 3 minutes because I broke my leg that game, and I just thought, that's it, I'm done. Like, literally, that was me. Yeah, I just didn't enjoy it, mate. It was, and everyone gets to that stage, whether it's, you could be early, you could be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s. Everyone gets to that stage, is like, right, okay, I need something else now. Yeah. And that was just, I needed
the right
that.
time for you, wasn't it?
It was massive, yeah.
Yeah, so the Iraq thing,
yeah,
I remember when we was probably chatting, and had met a bit of time before that happened. I think you were still at Warrington when we first met. But the Iraq thing again, it was a massive change, and I remember saying to you, I was like, that's mega. That I mean, you knew you seemed to know what you wanted to do. Yeah. You were like, right, no, I'm calling it quits. I can't deal with the injuries. I want to do this, and you went and did it. Yeah. And the Iraq thing, I mean, we've spoken, I've heard stories, but tell us a little bit more about that experience.
Yeah, so one of my friends was there, and I didn't, I wanted to be in the industry. I was working for a different company at the time anyway, whilst I was still playing, so I was still doing some operational stuff with with Vanquish, for the company that I run now. And it was good. I loved it, man. I loved the whole aspect of the operational planning, being someone's plan B, basically. I loved it. I love looking after people. I love making sure they get home safe as well as I do. And I think I took that from my rugby career. Like, if you see me on the pitch or anything like that, you know that I'd literally run my blood to water. If anyone was tired or anything like that, I would make sure that I would literally be there for them, kind of thing. Yeah. And that's how I took everything into rugby, into the security industry. Is I wanted to make sure people were okay. Yeah. And it can be a bit daunting sometimes when obviously you need to make sure yourself is all right. But that was the same thing. Everything that we put into place was to mitigate everything that we went through in Iraq and stuff like that, or the missions that we went through, making sure we got home safe, and that was that was the fundamental, and that was the the things that we had to overcome as well, which was really, really good. So basically, I remember going. So I signed the contract. I had to do quite a lot of paperwork beforehand. Yeah. Which even then was a bit scary, doing the paperwork that I had to do. But I knew I wanted to do it. There was nothing changing my mind at all. There was nothing at all. I just wanted some life experience, and to see firsthand what actually the war was about, and why we were actually there, and what was going on. And it's a different world, mate. Yeah. It's absolutely a different world. Like, it was. I remember my first mission was on my birthday. Oh. It was literally on my birthday. It was on my 28th birthday. We went out to, I think it was like an asphalt factory. Yeah. So basically, what our task was, we took out bomb disposal experts out to places of interest, like infrastructures such as schools, hospitals, factories. Basically, where ISIS implemented their devices just to obviously mess up the industry, mess up the economy. And I remember obviously going to my first mission, Obviously, we were carrying weapons, etc., and everyone was really, really nice because I was a civilian. Everyone else was ex-military.
Yeah.
And I knew people were like, well, why is he here? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? He doesn't know the industry. He doesn't know this, doesn't know that. And that was the case. That was definitely the case for the first day, 100%.
Yeah.
But I did the best that I could do to make sure that my clients trusted me, that my clients knew if anything did actually happen, then they were going to be safe. So that first day, I didn't want to step anywhere. I literally didn't want to get out of the vehicle at all. Yeah. The things they were saying, that obviously the devices that they find, you know, everyone's not running about, but everyone's walking about, and I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But after that, mate, literally after that, I would literally work hard on the training aspects of the like we did a lot of cross-decking and a lot of evacuation drills and a lot of weapons drills. So I would make sure that I was up to date with everything all the time. I had to be, because it was the same when I was probably a rugby league player. Like, I was never supposed to make it as a rugby league player. I was nowhere near good enough. I wasn't as talented enough as probably half the players on my team. But I had to work harder more than, I reckon, 80% of people.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of players that were better than me. And the same in this industry, I had to make sure that obviously my clients trusted me 100%. Yeah. And they did. By the end of it, I was there for 2 years. And obviously I got some really, really good recommendations from people. And, they were sad to see me leave. Yeah,
it's a great attitude to have, that though.
I think so,
The way you've just portrayed that is that, you've always put in 110% into everything you do to make sure that, even though you recognise weaknesses, that you can improve that.
Yeah,
and I think you can take that attitude that you've got there across to any industry. Yeah. That's where there's an overlap there to any industry that you're in.
Yeah. I think it just proves that, obviously, like, being a rugby league player is not, like, a lot of them don't realise that it's a very, very short career. We don't make millions of pounds. We're not, like Wayne Rooney's or anything like that. We do, when we retire, it's not we retire from anything. We don't go and play golf every day. Yeah. We have to work at another part of life. Yeah. And a lot of people do struggle with that. Yeah. But like you're saying, like, you put anything into, what I'm doing or whatever, something will click, something will, fundamentally will start for you. And still now, even coming back, I've got, I'm working really, really hard at the minute, trying to, to these training courses that I'm running as well now, which is all close protection. And, it's still difficult, especially with this current climate as well, mate. It has been, I've come back at probably the wrong time.
Yeah, straight into this. Yeah, should have stayed over there.
But it is what it is. Like, it's, you can't help it, can you? It's just how you deal with that.
It is what it is, isn't it, I suppose, with the whole COVID thing. I mean, obviously, with you being, I could sit here and listen to you all day chatting about stories about your time over there and your career and stuff. But, just for a second, if we move over to our industry, and so let's look at you looking in from the outside. Where do you see right now the hospitality and the entertainment industry going? From maybe you have done a little bit of work within that sector with your job. So where do you see, from your opinion, where do you see it going?
Well, after obviously the COVID and stuff.
Yeah, just moving forward. Yeah,
I think it has been difficult. It has been very, very difficult for like yourselves and other establishments going forward. I don't know. The government, the implications and the procedures that they put in, some of them make sense, but some of them actually, for me, don't make that much sense. Yeah. Like, we've opened gyms and we're still wearing masks in shops. Like, I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. But, and then we're obviously opening bars, etc., etc. But I don't,
yeah,
it's a difficult one, because I know I know hospitality, I know establishments need to get running, but at what cost, I suppose. But I see it. Obviously, I don't want this second spike. I really don't want it.
No, I don't think anyone does.
We've obviously seen that there's a few places that have been on like a little mini lockdown kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we contain as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then we can obviously get the industry, get this country back started again.
Yeah.
100%. I think what we've done and what the government done has been good. But some of the stuff, I think nobody knows. Like, literally no one knows what to do. That's what I feel. I feel like someone's gone, right.
It's got very confusing now, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I just don't understand. Like, the gyms are open, so you can, sweat and breathe all over everyone. But you can't go to Tesco and without a mask.
Yeah.
Which I understand some of the mitigation that they're actually putting in place, but it's not really, for me, it's not really doing anything.
No. Do you see recovery for venues in the entertainment industry, and like where do you see it going next year? Do you think everything will be back to normal?
Yeah, I do.
You do, yeah.
I think that the best thing the government have done is obviously the loans that they're giving to businesses. Is it the payback loan? I don't know what it is, but I don't know.
There's a bounce back loan.
Bounce back loan, that's it. Yeah, and I think the economy is going to struggle a little bit, but at the same time, I think it will. I think we'll be back to normal. Hopefully, I don't think it's going to be soon. I really, really don't. No. I think I don't think it's over. That's it. I don't think it's over yet at all. No. Nowhere near.
It's interesting to hear. Because I
suppose we've got like flu season and that coming. That's coming thick and fast, isn't it?
Now, isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. So I'm not massive into the science with it or politics. I'm not really massive into that.
No, I just wanted to see what your opinion was. Really, it's interesting to know what other
when
people
I come
say.
back, I worked on the isolation hubs down in London. So we were working with symptomatic patients. So I've not got COVID. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Should have probably tested him before he came in. With me and Kami yeah, all right, mate. Yeah.
Eyes like that. What's happening?
Just do us a favour and open that door.
Yeah, man. But we worked. So I worked for a company there that had some really high caliber of like operatives on there as well, which was really good. So our job was to look after the NHS and the external and internal location that we were at. So there was a couple down at London, obviously, people coming in from Heathrow, people that, there was a lot of asylum seekers as well that we had. But it was a good job. It was a really, really good job because you're just seeing how hard the NHS worked. And it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really good eye opener as well with what was happening. Because it was a week before lockdown. So I was finishing a course.
Yeah.
Got the call for this job. He's like, "Can you come tonight?" Well, literally come not in 2 hours. So it takes me 3.5 to get there. So literally, I was there for about 3 months. So I've literally not been home really since like February, March. Really, to be honest with you, but it was amazing. It was amazing to actually see how hard people actually work and to mitigate and to everything that government is trying to do. But obviously still getting a lot of people sunbathing on Brighton Beach, I guess I think it is.
Yeah.
So, that's always going to happen, I think.
Yeah, of course it was. Like, as soon as pubs open, like, we're all guilty of it or whatever. As soon as anything opens, we're all there. It's first world problems, which is something that being away in that has made me realise that, I don't need to have a Nando's. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, mate, since that I was driving past before.
Oh, I'd love a Nando's.
But
might go
100%. Like the first world problems that we have is we are very lucky.
No, jokes aside, I get where you're coming
very
from. No, I know. Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, and that I think that's taken for granted a lot.
Yeah.
And it shows certainly. On
I think
social media.
I think I'm not preaching or anything like that. Since like I've been away and stuff and seen firsthand how happy people are, but by us actually being there and taking the IEDs out where ice is put in the ground or whatever, and the housing estates that I've been on, honestly ridiculous. There's no other building without a bullet hole in it. You know what I mean? And the kids there are happy getting a crate of water, mate. And it was all the buildings dilapidated beyond repair, mate. Like literally I don't know how some of them are standing. So it does open your eyes, and that's the life experience that I wanted. Yeah, was obviously to see the highest part of the security industry and just go straight into it. Why not? To the hostile environments, and I only wanted to do 2-3 years just to get my experience up there. I didn't want to be there for 10+ years. When if I wanted to come back, and establish myself in the UK as well, because I love what I do. I literally whether it's it's looking after, whether it's for surveillance or close protection or bug sweeping, which you've probably seen me do a little bit on Instagram and that. Which our company teach as well. It's amazing. It is amazing going into people's houses or offices, saying right, we need this and this. I don't feel safe. Yeah. And then to obviously leave a residence or to leave them, happy with our services. Is massive. It's absolutely massive, mate.
Mega. I love that. Brilliant. So let's see where we go from here then. So we've got actually it's quite a good question actually that I come to everyone with, and So I'll start again there. It's quite a good question actually that I come to everyone with in terms of being busy and dealing with stressful times, and also like the mental health side of every aspect of people's lives. Yeah. How do you deal with being stressed and really busy?
I do go to the gym. Well, when I can, I suppose, or I'll go for a run or something like that. But I think the best thing for me that I've learned, even through my rugby career, was, and being blokes as well, it's hard enough as it is. You know, if you're feeling upset or something like that, or just speak to someone, man. Yeah. Like, literally, I would, like, even people. There's a lot of groups on this on like Facebook, and I think there's Man Warrington, Talk of Warrington, I think it is, or we have one for rugby as well. State of Mind, please like that, and just speaking about it, just saying what's on your mind, or just going for a beer or going for a coffee with one of your mates and saying, well, this is on my mind, mate. Like I'm struggling a little bit. Yeah. And I can guarantee that it's heightened a lot. I know it's heightened a lot, because I know people that do suffer with mental health and coming even with PTSD, things like that, and there's a lot of tragedy that's probably happened in the last few months as well. Yeah. Which is crazy. But just speaking to someone, like it's massive. You do, like for me anyway, personally, like getting something off my mind. Even if go to anybody. I literally say that to anybody. There's no shame in it at all.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah, and that's a well, not a common answer, but that's one of the.
But it could be anything like music. It could be anything at all. Anything that takes your mind off anything, makes you feel relaxed. I think it's a good thing. I really do.
Talking's definitely the one, I think. Yeah. For me personally, anyway.
Yeah. Everyone's different. Everyone is completely different, and people say, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't do this. Can't do that." Well, find something. Find something that makes you release. Yeah. Kind of thing.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I mean? Yeah, it's true. So moving on to the next section of the pod.
Yes. So moving on. Obviously, how did you guys meet? What's the story behind that?
Well, I wanted to play saxophone, didn't I? Yeah. But I did a little bit, didn't I? I went to, because I obviously went to live sessions in Stockton.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I loved it. And I still love it. Well, not now, because we've not had
one for a while, yeah.
But I used to go.
Bring back live sessions.
Every time I was at home, I'd be there. I'd literally be the first one there, last one out. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I loved, the hype in that it got. And I remember I got a bonus. It was a bonus from Bradford at the time. And instead of buying a PlayStation, I didn't buy a PlayStation. I thought, I'll go and buy my first saxophone. So I ended up going to that, and it was like, I think it was like £600-700 actually, so it wasn't. Yeah. But it was expensive enough, I suppose. Yeah. And then obviously messaged you on Insta. Yeah. Come round, give me a few tips, this, that, and the other. I didn't think I did lessons for like a year. Yeah. But then I obviously went overseas, and then it couldn't be in my hand luggage, to be honest. Yeah. So.
No. Have you played it again?
I couldn't actually.
Have you played it again?
No, I've done little bits, every now and then.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of your videos.
Yeah, I did a bit, mate. I got a bit out there, but I remember. I can't remember what it was when I think you played "Trouble" by a Fire. Yeah. And I remember I loved it. I loved the saxophone version of it, and I got to the point where I could actually listen to the notes. I can't now. I'm actually, but it took me about 6 hours just to listen to the chorus. Yeah. And I ended up playing it. It took me 6 hours. Yeah. But it wasn't probably the best. I was just like, right, okay, this isn't the best. But it took me about 6 hours. I enjoyed it. It was just something different again. It was something that
When you start playing that it's hard anyway. Yeah. And I don't know many people that have been able to learn properly from that. From over even late teens, really. I know it's possible, but normally if you've played an instrument before, it's possible.
But I enjoyed it. It was just, I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, I popped round. I brought a few books round for you and stuff, didn't I?
Yeah. And I went into Dawson's on.
Yeah.
I went to there to do lessons as well. So went through the book and that. And then he said, well, whatever music, whatever you want to bring in. So I did a few songs. I think I did Seal as well, mate. I think I got Seal. I did make a Seal, mate.
I've seen it on your Instagram somewhere. Yeah, I think anyone wants to see Matty playing it, it's on his Insta somewhere.
Don't do it.
What's your Instagram again?
No,
we'll plug it now.
But mate, I enjoyed it. It was just again something that. It was a bit different to obviously playing PlayStation and this, that, and the other. Yeah. So it was, and obviously I loved live sessions, mate. I still love live sessions. Yeah. It's mega. And Holly as well. Holly's a good mate of mine. Yeah. And to see her obviously go from doing nothing to DJ and to what she's done so far is unbelievable. And I think, again, like we were saying, like if you put your mind to it, it doesn't really matter how old you are, whatever, this, that and the other, do it, why not? No one says you can't, really. And Holly's a massive advocate for that, mate, 100%.
Yeah, she is.
She's awesome. That's what I mean. She does. I bet she's just as busy as everybody. It's ridiculous. Like with dancing and that as well. So she's. I've known her since like Independence. Oh, is it Independence? She's gonna kill me for saying Independence. One of the dancing ones, anyway. Right. Fusion. Jesus. Yeah. It was
she mentioned that.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. So she'll kill me saying Independence.
Holly, if you're listening, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'm really.
Obviously, like with you working with obviously loads of rugby teams and stuff, surely you've got some funny stories to tell us about your time.
I could be here all day, but there's probably a lot I can't say.
We've got to censor them.
Censor them, yeah. I think there's the like I didn't want to when I left rugby. I didn't want to lose the banter at all with lads or I don't think I could be in office. I really don't. I think I'd be sacked in a week. At least.
Like Kami.
Yeah.
I've been sacked 7 times so far.
That office, I always wanted that banter.
Don't talk to Kami about security.
We're not bringing that up now.
Why?
We are. So, right now?
Yeah, right now. You've got to hear this story.
Go on.
Obviously, when I was younger, I was about 18, 19. I got me my security badge.
Right.
So I just wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
And one of my first jobs, it's quite an exciting one. I had to look after the Chinese Olympic team when it came over.
Yeah.
So my job was to go on the coach with them, go to obviously the stadiums, get to watch them play, and then come back or stay over.
Right.
But I never actually got to that part. The first part of the job was, it was such a simple job. It was like, you need to sit at this reception desk. I was like, right. And he was like, there's one rule. Don't let him leave.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't let him leave. This is my boss at the time. So don't let him. I'm clocking off now. Good night. I was like, all right, fine, this is easy. Yeah. It's a 12-hour shift. I was like, I ain't got obviously do checks and stuff. And then this chap walks up to me. He's obviously Chinese and stuff, but he had the best Leeds accent ever. And he sounded like a coach. He was like, oh, you all right? How you doing? You okay? I was like, yeah, good. So I'm just going to nip out. And I was like, oh, I'm not allowed to let anyone out. And my boss at the time, he mentioned his name. He mentioned someone else. He says, oh, I know them. Yeah, you're a new guy. Yeah, I just need to nip out. It's fine. It's totally cool. I'll message him. I've got his number. And I was like, all right, okay. So when I press this button, the folding doors open, and they take about 15 seconds to close. Right. And then as soon as I pressed it, he shouted something in Chinese. He goes, got a few colleagues coming with me. So is that all right? I was like, yeah, as long as you're back. He was like, no, I'll text your boss, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You chill. And 15 guys walked out with him. I'm a bit like, is that right? Is it wrong? He's fine. Yeah. And then it was only an hour later, I got a call of obviously my boss. I was like, oh, is everything all right? He was like, I gave you one job. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I've just had a phone call to say that they're in the streets. This is like the Chinese Olympic team. I'm like, what do you mean in the streets? She goes, just go out there and find them. Yeah. There's loads of swearing what went on, but I won't repeat that. So I went out. I was like, where would I look? And then I asked a few people, and they said, "Oh, try McDonald's." I think I've seen a few people because they're wearing the Chinese hoodies and jumpers. And I went in there, and they're all sat in McDonald's eating McFlurries, getting photos of everyone.
One job,
sacked.
Just one job.
So it lasted like 15
minutes.
Olympics?
Was that Olympics?
This was so we were staying. It was so we trained at the Olympics like 3 times a week, but we used to stay at the Leeds University and do training there. So it's 3 days there and 3 days at the Olympics. I never actually made it to the Olympics, which I'm really gutted about. And I went in and they all just like looked at me like, hey, because they knew I was a new guy, so I had to march him back in.
They played you there, haven't they?
Didn't you also go to sleep on the job when you were on security job?
Oh yeah, obviously that job they got rid of me. And the thing is, the second day I still had to do it, and they were doing like a huge group photo, right? Because the security being great kind of thing, and it was going to go in the papers. I actually got taken out of that shot, so I was going to stand in there as well, get a picture in the evening news. But I remember my boss at the time was just like, "Oh man, over there." So obviously, I still was with the firm, but I got another job, and it was looking after a building. Massive office building, 24-hour one, and I was with a bit of a dodgy guy. And he was like, I watched Netflix for a bit. I was like, right. He goes, there's a sofa upstairs, you go to sleep 3 hours and we'll twist and turn. I went, all right, fine. He knows what he's doing. I go to sleep upstairs. Little do I know, they've got like a work phone, and obviously people do come and check in from the security firm. He went out to get some food from a takeaway, so obviously someone's come in, the phone's still at the desk. no one's there. And he's like, what? So he goes upstairs and he sees me asleep on the couch.
Oh my days.
Right on the job. Wakes me up going, what are you doing? I was like, he's supposed to tell me. It's kind of dobbed him in as well.
That's mega.
This is Kami's job history. His CV doesn't look very good, does it?
It lasted 10 days there. So
10 days? Well, at least I say one then. It's better than one, isn't it?
Oh, man.
That's mega.
Where are we up to then anyway? What happened? Why did I divert that to you?
I don't know.
I like to hear that, so that's good.
Yeah, it's a good
I have
story.
got a photo, though, of me walking the Chinese Olympic team back
Have you?
to the uni.
Mate, there it is, isn't it?
Somewhere. I just thought, you know what, just for a bit of history.
Yeah.
You must have some funny stories. Not one, but that's not like...
I'm trying to think. Like, we obviously the banter side of it. Obviously, we had a lot of comedians in our team, like Benny Harrison.
Yeah.
Benny Harrison was crazy, mate. Honestly, he was funny. A really, really good lad. But we used to come out of training and your wheels would be gone. Literally, you'd literally have about 2. You had no wheels left on your car. I know, mate. It was ridiculous. People were post-it notes everywhere. Jared Samet, you know, players like that I've played with are just absolutely mental. But the coach would go mental. He would actually go crazy. I remember the first.
Have you not done the coach's car?
I remember what?
That manager's car, like that.
Yeah, we've done loads. We used to draw like dicks all over the car and stuff like that, all over the boards. And you know, like it's stupid, but it's like. I remember we did it once, and we did it on the turn side of the whiteboard. He just hit the roof. Tony Smith, he just went, right, you need to pack this in. That was getting ridiculous.
yeah, he's got a point.
But I remember, mate, it was Paul Cullen. Paul Cullen was like one of my favourite coaches. For the reason he just took no shit, and obviously we used to do video quite a lot. And obviously people on high protein diets and you know they didn't smell that good. It really didn't, and it got to the point where I think what did Cole say now? He said, "Boys, it's not a fucking farmyard in here." There's little bits like that, and it was just like, oh my days. And I was only a kid then as well, like, and he got, oh mate, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I always listened to like a lot of the, I think, who was it, Damien Duff, the footballer, he came out with a load of stuff. And I read it, I find it ace about what it used to be like. I mean, you'll have experienced some of that in terms of training as a youngster. And like, did you have to clean people's boots and all that?
To be fair, I think my era, we didn't have to do that, to be honest.
Right.
We didn't have to, ours was all right.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were a lot younger, so I didn't speak to anyone until I was probably there was a couple of people.
Yeah.
But some of the lads in that were there with the high profile players and stuff. So I was like 17, 18, a bit younger than that. Obviously, when I first started playing first team, and it was just like well out your depth.
Yeah.
Well out your depth. So you just didn't speak to anyone. Literally, would do what they said. Like Lee Breers, Benny Westwood, legends that I've had to grow up with, and that. And then, you get gradually you get more established in first team and that, and then you become part of the team a little bit more. Which is what you wanted. Which is always what I wanted as a kid. It was just like, I need to be part of this group. You know what I mean? I was always a part of the team, but you know what I mean. It was just like,
come through.
But it was we've had some mad times. Even like obviously the end of the year, Mad Mondays and that. We've had fancy dresses. We used to go. Honestly, girlfriends used to hate us, mate.
Yeah,
like, literally. I think they had their own WhatsApp group saying, "Is yours home yet?"
Yeah.
And it'd be like 3 days later.
No, it's not 3 days later. Not 3 hours, but 3 days later. Not 3 hours later.
Mine's just turned up. This, that, and the other. I'm just like,
mate.
oh mate.
No,
so girlfriends used to hate us.
I can imagine.
But it was only like one time a year. We used to go away to we've been like Tenerife, Magaluf, Dublin. Was my last Mad Monday, which was amazing.
Mad Monday.
But yeah. It was they hated us. I used to lose phones, keys, everything, like, absolutely everything. But it was all worth it.
But it's all part of that, isn't it? You need that
definitely
team building type thing, isn't
Massively,
it? Yeah. Right, we're going to move on to the quick fire questions now. Coming towards the end of the podcast, we're firing the quick fires. It's nothing untoward. Just try and answer them as quickly as you can. That's the only rule.
This could go ahead.
You go first. I'm letting you go first on all of them.
All right, yeah. Fine. So what do you put in a toaster?
Bread.
Oh, I'm not going to ask this next one now.
No,
I've changed my mind. They're too good. They're too good for me. What's your favourite track of all time?
Oh my God, I actually don't know. That's an hard question. That one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Say you're in a bar or nightclub and it comes on and you just want to throw your hands in the air and sing it.
I don't know. I love Chris Brown, mate.
Yes.
I really love Chris Brown. Anything by Chris Brown is massive.
I love Chris
I
Brown.
actually love that.
Yeah.
So if you had one superpower, what would it be?
Invisible, yes.
Second time someone said that.
Invisible, yeah. I'm a bit creepy sometimes.
That's a good... I don't want to know the reasons why you want to go invisible. It'd
make my job easier sometimes. Being a surveillance operative. In surveillance, I could just literally stand next to him, wouldn't I? So it was all for job, not creepiness. Take that back.
Cut that bit. Hello, cut that bit. What's your favourite cheese?
Cheddar. Nice and simple, mate.
Yeah,
mature, obviously.
That's like a safe.
Yeah, it's a safe one, that, isn't it?
Everyone loves a bit of cheddar. Yeah. Favourite movie of all time?
Man on Fire.
Is this Holly J?
Holly J said the exact same.
She's given the same answers, pretty much. Yeah.
Man on Fire, man. Oh, Menace in Society. I do like that. That's one of my favourites as well.
Yeah. Nice. Some good choices. Right, Matty, thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries, mate.
We'll leave it there. End of the pod. So, thank you to all our guests. No, cut that. I don't know why I've just said that. Thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. As always, please keep sharing. Kami will let you know.
Yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe. Drop us a comment below. And if you've listened to it on iTunes podcast, please do subscribe, drop us a comment, and on Spotify as well. And yeah, that's a wrap.
That's it, off the record. Thank you, Matty, again for joining us. Good to see you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Kami. That's it from us for now. See ya.
See you in a bit.
615 presents Off the Record with Tom Lormor